having a very specific and a rigid timetable to go on a diet, for example. Alright, now I want you guys to use these relevant vocabularies, words, collocations, and come up with some answers from your own way of thinking and from your standpoint. Who is man enough, or who is going to be the first victim? Who would like to go for this one? Who is ready to answer such a question? Ladies first? Okay. I am in the middle of the exam, Miss Tao, and I'm going to be asking you the same question. What do you do to keep healthy? You don't know?
To be honest, I think I'm a kind of person who live healthy. I found that there are several ways to improve our health, such as doing exercise, it's regularly. Eating is a very important part. We should cut down on fast food and try to eat more diet and eat more vegetable. And besides, we could have a very specific schedule to strictly follow it in this week.
Thanks, Abiya. Thanks, Abiya. That's a perfect answer. And I can allocate something above 8 for such an answer. Why? You did come up with a starter. You said, to be honest, I think, and then you come up with the idea of putting your thoughts in order. You said there are several ways, such as, well done, cutting down on fast food, and you gave a reason, or going and following a very strict timetable. That's great. Do exercise. That's interesting. Perfect. That was a wonderful, relevant, full of relevant vocabularies and topic-specific vocabularies. Perfect answer. If you're going to paraphrase what she said, and if you are going to express yourself through the question, how would you respond? Try to say the same answer, but paraphrase as much as possible. Don't repeat exact words what she said. I know it's a little bit difficult, but I'd like you to take the floor and prove me wrong.
Can I say something different?
Yes, sure. But the question is, what do you do to keep healthy?
So, frankly speaking, after several research, I found that there are many ways to keep our health well. So, for example, like the first thing that comes to my mind is doing the exercise regularly, every day, and moreover, we can improve our health by going on a diet or cutting down on the junk food, etc. And the most important thing, I believe that the schedule is really important. If you have a good and good activities timetable, so you can improve your sleep and can live healthy.
Wonderful. That was another smashing part of your talk. I see both of you did use the word regularly. That's an adverb. That's great. After doing a lot of research, or which one is correct? Which one is more of a great answer? Or which one does make more sense? After several research, or after doing a lot of research? After doing a lot of research, or after doing several research? What do you think of the word research? Is it a noun or not? Well done. Is it a kind of, it could be a verb and a noun both, but is it a countable or uncountable noun? It is more likely to be an uncountable, but in certain situations it can be a plural. It can be used as research does as well. But the way he said, he pointed out, it's a lot better to say after doing a lot of research, it has been proven to me, or I found out, and so on and so forth. Great cutting down on junk food. That was a great paraphrase for fast food and The others, you said, what is this one? Etc. Is it highly suggested? Is it a good recommendation to put etc. in your writings or in your speaking? Don't you think that sometimes it's going to be a vague language and so on, and something like that? It's a lot better to be specific, to be exact and to the point. So try to say something which is more precise. Avoid vague language. Avoid vague language. Okay? Everything was perfect. Try to work on some area which can be improved. Wonderful. Any comments, any questions so far? Ladies, gentlemen? No? So if you don't mind, please focus on page 243 on the exercise or activity number 1. What are you going to do? You're going to match a reply on the left from 1 to 6 with the replies which have the same question on the right. And you do need to find the ones which are a perfect paraphrase for each other. For example, let's do number 1 together. Let's do number 1 together. Number 1. Can you read number 1?
I think I will study engineering next year. I will decide after my exam.
Well done. Before looking at the answer, can you tell me how you can paraphrase these 2 sentences? I think I will study engineering next year. I think I will study engineering next year. How can you paraphrase that? In your point of view, the way that you're thinking.
I decided to take part in engineering class next year.
Again, can you paraphrase this sentence? I think I will study engineering next year. I think I will study engineering next year. How can you make it a little bit more complex and with the higher range of vocabulary and the paraphrases or the phrases? I think I will study engineering next year. I reckon I will study engineering. I reckon I will, for instance, I think I will go for engineering next year in the forthcoming or in the upcoming year. You see how you can make it a little bit more fancy. Using these less common vocabularies from the very beginning will be a great impression, will have a great impression on the examiner. I will decide after my exams. Can you think of the word or the phrase which means decide? What is that word which means decide?
Make a decision.
Great, wonderful, thank you, perfect. That's a great way of showing and proving that you are much better than band score 5. I highly recommend try to heavily using on noun phrases in the middle of the exam. And by noun phrases, I told you before. Thank you for considering that, or thank you for taking it into consideration. Use the noun phrases. Why? Because that noun phrase is going to involve a matter of complexity. So, you can say, I will decide later, or I will make a decision later, or I will... Do you know this or not? I'm giving you some hints. What is that phrase? Make up my mind. You see, that's a beautiful way of saying I will decide later. So I will make up my mind later, and I will let you know, for instance, later. So which one is a perfect Equivalent for number 1. Which one? D. And what is D? Can you read D?
I'm planning to take a degree in engineering. I'm going to start the course in September next year.
I am planning to take a degree. You see, that's a nice collocation. Take a degree. Take a degree in engineering. I'm due to. I am about to start the course in September next year, and so on and so forth. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm giving you roughly 1 or 2 or 3 minutes. Rack your brain, think very deeply, and try to match. And then you can stand up and check your answers in here. You don't have to swap, so please tell each other how you feel about your answers. Check your answers together. What do you think of number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
2F, delay, 4.
Okay, one by one. All right, just hold in a second. Hold your horses. What do you think of number 2? F on the same boat. 3? A that you're fairly sure about. 4? 5? And the most difficult. Well done, number 6. You have only one more choice, C. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's start analyzing the answers. Let's start with number 6. I really like food. My favorite food is chicken and rice. I don't like vegetables very much, but I try to eat them because they are healthy. You said C for number 6, am I right? And why do you go for C? Why would you go for C?
Topic about food.
Well done. Topic is the same topic, food, okay. Which one is going to have more, or which one contains more complex, less common vocabularies and grammatical features? Which one? And can you tell me what those fancy words, those interesting words and collocations are? Again? Savory dishes. Instead of food, you can say dish. Instead of savory dishes, okay? To sweet ones. That's a beautiful way of referencing. Referencing. When you're referencing, it means you are not repeating the exact word. Like this example. Look, I have already given you this example. Bananas are grown in tropical areas. They are going to be taken care of with the local people. What did I use here to replace the word bananas? They. And that means using references or referencing. Here, instead of using dishes and food, what did the test taker use? Sweet ones. Well done. That's a great and a positive ones here. Let's carry on. What else? In restaurants, I tend to, instead of I would like to, I am interested in, I am crazy about, I fancy something, you can say I tend to. I tend to choose spicy meals and avoid anything too greasy, which means full of oil, or fatty. Okay, great. 6C, absolutely right. What about number 2? What are some of the equivalents or some of the alternative ways which have been used here? For number 2, you said F. I often play with children because, okay, number 2. I spend lots of time around children. They are nice children, but sometimes... Which one is better, number 2 or F? So, do you think that 2 has more complex language. Am I right? Like toddler, entertaining, naughty, great. Yes, number 2 is much more complex. You can click, or you can press, or you can put something just right behind or on the right and the left to remember. What about number 5? Number 5. I still live in the same neighborhood I grew up in. It used to be a bit boring, but now... Which one is better, number 5 or E? So E, you see, is very simple. 2 short sentences that I highly recommend that to avoid using such kind of things. And number 3?
Freeze.
A is much better. I am really into green. I've got loads of green. There are some beautiful phrases and accessories. Number 4.
Number 4 is better.
B and 4 is much better, huh? To be a huge fan of something, to be a big fan of something, and I've been playing it. That's a present perfect, progressive, or continuous. Alright. Do you have any other comments, any other questions? If no, can you come up with some questions? I'm going to give you this sticky note, and you are going to create questions for these answers. What kind of questions can you think of for these questions that you have here? Are you ready? What are you going to do? Are you going to write or talk? But are you going to write the answer or the question? And the question is about number 1 to 6. What kind of question can you think of? Just write it down, and then you're going to swap your sticky notes, and we'll check what kind of questions can you come up with. the last, look, foremost, number 6. Done? Please look at each other's questions and see whether you are in complete agreement with the questions that your partner made, yes or no. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now we are going to do a kind of real speaking part 1 task. And I'm going to ask you to stand up, please, and you come here as well. You're going to put it on your chest. You did it before. And you're going to be putting it on your chest. And I want you guys to start asking the same questions that you asked. It's not very sticky. Okay, alright. Let's start asking each other the same questions that you wrote for yourself. And you have got almost 5 minutes to start asking and answering. Are you ready? You start number 1, you number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then swap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready? Steady? Let's go.
First one. What are you planning to study next year?
Next year is...
Okay, yes, you can. Yes, you start asking number 1.
Take a picture.
You want to have it in your hand?
Yes.
Okay, alright, you can hold it in your hand. It's out, okay. You ask number 1.
Yes, I'm
And I will answer.
You answer number 1, yes. And then you ask number 2, he would answer number 2. Okay? 1 for 1.
Next year I will go to the university, so I decide to learn business and business. I think it will be difficult, but this is what I probably will have to travel as I want to. Do you like children?
Frankly speaking, I'm really not a kind of person who really like children because when I meet them, I feel they have a little bit naughty and really like noisy. They are destroying my toys also, so I really like them. What is your favorite color?
I like rainbow, but I think I into a lot of colors. Maybe this could be. Because rainbow have a very meaningful meanings. Yes, and it's easy to do you interested in sport?
Well, yes, and due to many kind of sport, my favorite one is soccer because I'm participate in a soccer club in my school, and playing soccer gave me very fun to have new friends. Yes. Can you describe your hometown?
My hometown is Hamburg, and it is a big city, but developed too. But there are a lot of houses and streets that's very crowded, and I love this place too. What is your favorite food?
I'm a person who savor in spicy food because there are a lot of traditional food in Vietnam and most of them are really spicy. For example, like bún riêu, phở, and more. And when it's spicy, in your body will create a special thing that gives you to have a less stress. So yes, it's your turn to ask me now.
Do you have any educational plan?
Well, I'm planning to go to university next year, and my dream school is new because the facility is really good, and I think I will study business in the school. What do you do in your spare time with family members?
I usually spend leisure time with my family, and normally we talk together and we have kind of serious conversations. Really stressful, but still after those conversations I learned a lot. What is your favorite color?
In 7 simple colors, my favorite one is black because people say that when I'm wearing black is really fancy, and black is the color to in Spanish, I think so. It's show your what kind of sport do you into?
When I was younger, I was into badminton, but after that I don't really practice a lot, so I just go swimming with my friends. Yeah. Okay. Can you describe your neighborhood?
When I was younger, my neighbor had many children have the same age as me, so I can play with them a lot. I have really enjoyed that time, but now they have moved out to another city, and this makes me feel bad about it. And what kind of food were you interested in? No? And yes, the food. What kind of food are you interested in?
Yes. I like vegetable, and I think my relative, they are vegetarians. So I eat a lot of vegetable, like a vegetarian since I was a child. So later I think I will completely going to be a vegetarian.
Give yourself a huge round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so very much. You can take a break just for 1 minute, they tell me.
Bật được à? Bạn.
Alright. I am indeed pressed with time, otherwise I would fill all the parts of this table. I am giving you and you this marker. I am giving this, sorry, these markers. But I want you guys come to the board and correct some mistakes and try to match some other alternative ways of saying those words or some other ways of saying that word. Let me give you a hand. For example, what is this word? I like. Can you find any other ways that we can say I like? I like. Can you find? I tend to, you see?
Into.
I am into. So you can circle the ones who have the same meaning. And you can sometimes correct the mistakes. Can you realize the mistakes or not? Can you come to the board, please? Correct some mistakes and match or circle or underline or draw. Well done. That's great, great, great. Well done. So what is wrong with that? Is it correct to say it show or it shows? It shows. That is correct. Well done. And can you find another phrase which has the same meaning with it shows? Can you find? It demonstrates. Well done. You can highlight like this. It demonstrates. What else? Can you do the same? What is wrong with this? You tell me. What is wrong with this? Can you find the correct one? There is exactly the correct one in that table. Find the correct one, the one. Well done. So which one is correct? Are you interested in or do you interested in? Great. So we said you can check. This is the correct one and this is wrong. We don't say, do you interested in playing music? Are you interested in playing music? What else? I fancy. We can use it for when you want to say I like or yes, we can circle.
And I would like to.
Okay, well done. That's another way. Correct. I would like to. Or my. And what is wrong with this?
A person who savors.
I am a person who savor. Or I am a person who savors. Well done. Great. So bear in mind, I am a person who enjoys or who savors. So these are some of the common mistakes that I realized and I identified while you were talking. But that's great. Perfect for completing and doing this activity. Well done. You were able to expand on your answers. You were able to come up with some reasons. But to be perfectly honest and frankly speaking, you do need to have a little bit more variety in your language. Try to go for more usage or proper usage of equivalents, alternative words, not my favorite, not I like most of the time. Well done. Great. Perfect. Thank you so very much. If you don't have any other comments or questions, let's move on to page 244. 244. Alright, below are 3 examples of how candidates replied to the questions in part 1 of the speaking tests. And what I'd like you guys, or what this task is going to ask you to do would be rewriting 3 sample answers, and you do need to only change the grammar and the vocabulary, but not the idea. So it means like paraphrasing. Can you recall, I told you, paraphrasing means changing the structure plus the word, but not the idea. Let's look at the example together. I'm giving you some time to read the example. What is another way of saying I buy things on the internet? You can say I shop on the internet, or I do online shopping, or I shop online. Sometimes, or quite regularly. So quite regularly or sometimes. Like clothes, or usually for or workwear. Have you ever heard this word? Workwear. It means whatever, the uniform, anything that you are trying to wear before being present at your workplace. You can buy the new styles, and they are cheap. The stuff that's available on the internet, so beautiful and very easy. Is usually more up to date. It means they are new, and often less expensive than in the shops. You see? And comparison between the shop and online shopping. Which one is more complex? The one which has been rewritten. Well done. Great. And why? Which one consists of more range of vocabularies? Great. So this one includes more range of vocabulary. And which one contains more topic-specific vocabularies and a wide range? Again, the second one. Shop regularly, casual clothes, workwear, stuff available on the internet. And that's beautiful. And that is exactly 9 out of 9 for this specific answer. And the IELTS test taker was able to give an example, like clothes, and give a reason for that. Why? Because it is cheaper and it's also convenient for you. What are you going to do now? I wish we had 2 more candidates, since it was a great competitive way of doing this activity. Otherwise, alright, so in this case we're going to rely on you guys. You can either do it together or individually, and then we can share our answers together. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer working together or alone?
Yes, without an issue 1, 2, and 3 is full.
Again, I didn't catch you. Please.
We can divide the books to like sheets and 1.
No. You can do 1, 2, 3 all together, 1 by 1 together, or you can do these 3 individually, and then you individually, and then we can share. But which one do you prefer? Together? So it's not going to be ruined the way that you are recording? No? I forgot your name. Okay. Miss?
Quỳnh Anh. Yes.
Anh? Okay, Miss Anh. I hope that it's not going to be ruined. Or please stand up and join her, because I want you to do it together. Yes, don't panic. You can together. It's a lot better to put your thoughts together. So you have 5 minutes. I want you guys to come up with a sentence that you both agree on, okay? If you are going to reach an agreement upon what you're going to write it down, please. You can choose with any number. You have 5 minutes. You need to rewrite all these 3 answers together, okay? Just change the language, not the ideas. It's up to you.
So many we say the majority. In my country, the majority people in my country have the people.
can hear some Spanish words. Please speak in English. No Spanish.
So like, let's look at that one, and it has meaning like I don't know.
Will we change the phrase my name?
It is now.
The same.
The same, something, the synonym of the same.
The symbol.
The majority of people have the same name. Same. Can you give us some synonym of same?
For the word same,
Yes.
similar, when some people or some things are on the same boat, to be on the same wavelength. These are some other idiomatic language. To be on the same boat, to be similar, to you cannot find any similarity, for instance.
Okay.
Basically. So that one, and it's kind of meaning. It has a meaning.
Identity has a meaning.
But I don't know in English. It's something I don't know in English. So this sentence is so
So I have no idea.
I have no idea. Yes. It is English. Skip the number one. I know my neighbor. I know maybe people in my neighborhood. When we first met, we met for the first time in 2000. Since 2005, she is very nice. She is my neighbor is not SO, it's one person. With a person in your neighborhood is with my neighbor. We met for the first time in 2005. We met in 2005, and she is a kind person. Name is kind, and she told me when I was sick. Once she knew like when I was sick to go. When I was sick, she helped me. So when I have sickness, she cured me. Cured, like she revived me. She took care of me when I was sick. Yeah. My next holiday will be in Europe. I'm planning to intend in Europe. Holiday. I'm planning to spend my holiday in Europe. Or I'm planning to spend my holiday with European people. This is my first holiday in Europe. This is the first time I'm staying in Europe, and I went to visit different places. The first time, this is the first time I attend in the stand. Yes, sir. This is the first time I'm staying here. Stand here, and I want to visit the place once. The triplet form is like desire is like some machine.
crucial words, some
Famous word. Famous.
reputable, famous, monuments.
Fancy restaurant. Yes.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay. After taking a deep breath, can you stand up a little bit and walk around the classroom? And if you're going to use some of these equivalent or alternative words for your paraphrases, which one will you choose and which one do you think is going to be a perfect alternative? Can you follow me, guys? Let's start here. Which part? What is this? This one? Can you read this one? Can you remember? I don't know this name in English. It's hard for me to put it in English language, for example. What about this one? My neighbor, he helped me once when I was sick. Or, she turned out to be very helpful. You see, you can use some other collocations, adjective forms. Bear in mind, when you say abhor, it means to hate something very much. It is very strong. You can go for detest, or I don't fancy, or it's not my cup of tea, for instance. But you're right, I did write abhor and detest both. What is this one?
Smashing place. Like really fancy.
Smashing places that you can eat. What is this paraphrase?
That's nice.
Well done. Great. Instead of writing and saying the word restaurant, it's a very smashing place that you can eat or you can get yourself a snack. What about here? Follow me, please. What is this one?
It's indeed meaningful.
It is indeed very meaningful.
No.
Which one was it? It has meaning. Can you remember? The name, it has meaning. It is very meaningful, for instance. What about this one? My initial.
Vacation.
Well done. My first holiday, for instance.
I've been in contact with her.
My neighbors for more than 5 years. I know them for 5 years. And what about this one?
Majority.
Well done. Or the majority of people. Or the vast majority of my residential, for instance, area people. Or the local people in my country. Thank you, guys. I have noticed that you had a lot of negotiation and you were trying to get over it. Thank you. That was a great activity. I hope that you can see that how paraphrasing will help you to boost and improve your knowledge of English plus improving your score. All right. Any comments? Any questions? Problems? Yes, no? If not, I'm going to ask you to start asking and answering some questions. How many topics can you see on the following page, 254, I mean 245? How many topics are visible? Are you sure?
21.
How many topics? 1. How many questions? 21. But how many topics?
4.
4 topics. Weekends, sunny days, outdoor activities at home, and accommodation. I want you guys to choose the one that you like. The one that you like. And ask the questions from your partner.
Choose.
The ones that you like, and ask those questions that you like from your partner. And the same for you. Are you guys ready or not? I wish we had at least one more student. In that case, I would swap and change the pairs. If you find yourself a little bit repetitive, I am infinitely sorry. Are you ready to start or not?
Yes.
So we can have it while you're talking a little bit out loud in 5 or 10 minutes. Which one did you choose?
Outdoor activities.
Outdoor activities, all right. And which one did you choose?
Sunny days.
Sunny days. 3 questions, all right. Okay. So you start asking first, because it's going to have less number of questions. So listen, please put yourself in the shoes of an IELTS test taker. It's a genuine atmosphere of the exam, and you are going to respond and express yourself. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So please look at the examiner and answer the questions.
Do you like sunny days?
Well, frankly speaking, I'm a person who really not enjoy sunny days because I prefer to rainy weather more than sunny ones. Because when it's raining, you can spend your time with your friends at home for online games, or maybe just hang out in the coffee, watching rain with a very sad mood.
Next question.
Do you
No, you have number 2. You just answer all the questions first, and then it will be your turn. Question number 2.
What do you like to do when it's a sunny day?
Well, when it's sunny outside, there are a lot of activities we can do, and the most regular activity I have with my friends Sunday is go to a soccer match, having a soccer match with another school. When you do that activity, it can increase your health, and it's really good to communicate with your friend during the match.
Would you like to stay at home or go outside when the weather is great?
Well, when the weather is really kind outside, I prefer to spend the time at home with my friends, because when it's great outside in Vietnam, the sky is usually sunny, and when we get outside, the sun will burn our skin, and I want to have a white skin more than the skin one. Yeah.
Done? Yes, thank you for all those 3 questions. Now it's your turn, and you are going to play the role of an examiner, and you will be test taker. So please start asking questions about
We have 6.
outdoor activities.
We have 6 questions.
Okay, it's alright.
Okay. Do you like outdoor activities?
Honestly, I think in this city there are not many outdoor activities, and so that if I have to hang out with my friend, I still don't have any outdoor activities. But I still like outdoor activities.
What outdoor activities do you most like to do?
When I going out, I tend to do some sport activities like I used to play badminton with friends outside, and this day maybe we have some team building activities out, and on the pedestrian street, my project have fun making activities, and we have to do that outside.
Okay, so how often do you do that?
It's rarely often because I don't have much leisure time, and my friends also don't have much leisure time, and going outside is in summer when all of us have free time, is hot as scorching. Yes.
What hours for you like one?
how to improve my health, so it's good.
Okay. How much time do you spend outdoor every week?
These days, the COVID-19 pandemic is around, so we rarely go out, as we have to strictly follow that. So I often spend time indoor with interior activities.
Okay. What type of outdoor activities are popular in your country?
It can be generally observed that people like to eat outside the pedestrian street, and they go to Anson Street too. Also, doing sports outdoor is popular too.
Alright, so how do you feel about this?
It's
It's hard. Alright. How do you pronounce the word vegetarian? How do you pronounce? Okay, it's vegetarian. Okay, vegetarian. The word is going to be pronounced like vegetarian, you said. So can you repeat after me, vegetarian? Vegetarian. Again, Tarian. Vegetarian. Well done. Thank you guys. That's a great way of overcoming your fear and overcoming some of the barriers and language barriers and difficulties that you might have. I know the number of questions that you responded were more than double, more than this guy. I am a type of person who really not enjoy. What is wrong with this? Who really not enjoy? I am a type of person who really not enjoy or who really doesn't enjoy. Which one is correct? Who really not enjoy or who really doesn't enjoy? Again, doesn't enjoy. D-O-E-S, doesn't enjoy. These are some of the very common mistakes which can be found, and it's alright, these are some area of improvement. Thank you. I see that you have the tendency to develop on the topic, speaking at length, speaking at a right pace, and sometimes speak. Sometimes if you're not very full of ideas, if you're lacking ideas, try to fill the time and buy the time by using some time fillers. Escaping my mind, let me just get the hang out of it. For instance, don't just be silent for 2 or 3 or 5 seconds. Well then, I see more variety of the language. I tend to do something, hang out with friends, Syrian fine, leisure time. Alright, okay, great. In total, it is something acceptable, but you're still expected to work on the language, the structures, and use time fillers. But I do understand it's a real atmosphere that's sometimes going to put unnecessary pressure and stress on your shoulders. But it's alright. Even if you are not interested in the question, try to pretend that you like the question. What are some famous outdoor activities in your country? Don't ask me about this, please. No, you can say, wow. You can tell a lie, but try to support. Wow, dancing is found to be something very pervasive in every part of Vietnam. The vast majority of teens nowadays are crazy about techno dance or different kinds of dance. A prime example, Wang Kiam Lake at the very end of the week can be full of vibrant and lively teens that they are hugely interested in dancing and lovely. Pretend that you are interested in the question and answer. Any comments? Any questions? Any problems? Yes, no? No, I'm afraid. I assume that you might be a little bit tired of speaking, and sometimes it's going to be a wonderful move or shift from speaking to listening. But okay, we are going to do a kind of practice, and we are going to review what we have already talked about concerning the speaking activity. And I'd like you guys to move to page 24 and 25, please. Well done, it's okay, it's 24 and 25. Yeah, that's it. You're completely done with the speaking, and now we're going to allocate the roughly 30 minutes to listening. Let's start and ask you some fundamentals and the very basic information about IELTS listening exam. You can remember that we have 4 parts in the listening exam, and let me know which part is about what I am telling you, okay? Which part is going to have at least 3 or 4 people? Well done. And it's more likely to be about a daily routine or an academic subject. Well done. Part 3. Which one is a monologue, which is going to be run by a lecturer or a university lecturer or professor about, again, academic topic? Part 4. Which one is about a conversation, a mutual conversation between 2 people asking for something like ID card, number? Well done. Part 1. And which one is a monologue? Monologue, a long speech by one person showing a diagram, a map, describing a hotel. Part? Well done. Part 2. Great. These are some of the key components that you have to always remember. And finding the keywords as well. Alright, to the best of my recollection, we have already put an end to page 20 and 21 and 22. Yes, we did complete this part. And now we're going to be focusing on page 23, 4, and 5. If you don't mind, let's do some practice right now. And the prime example of keywords can be found here. Can you remember the major features of keywords? How many keywords can we find? The maximum number of keywords in a sentence, how many? 3 keywords. We are expected to find 2 to 3 keywords in a sentence. Why? Because we want to make a long story short. We want to summarize it. And we said that every single word can be a keyword. To the and, or only the words which carry meaning. The meaningful words. Alright. Most keywords in the questions are said in a different way by the speakers, so it's better to anticipate synonyms and paraphrasing. Restaurant, it's a place that you can get yourself a snack. And so on and so forth. Can you look at practice number 2, questions number 1 to 6? You have got 30 seconds to flick through the types and the parts and find some keywords and highlight them, please. Highlight the keywords on practice number 2, then I'm going to be asking you to share your keywords with me as well. Let's get connected, since I'm going to play audio for you guys. Only practice number 2, not 3. Are we done? What are the keywords that you have selected or chosen? How many words are you allowed to write? No more than
1.
So it says write 1 word only. So you can put the number on the top of that in order to remember and remind yourself. What are the keywords that you were able to find? So we have the table. So you have to look at the rubric, the title. What is the title? And you have different 3 sections. You have section, aim, and examples of activities. Look at the rubric and tell me what keywords did you find? And what do you expect to hear? Do you think you expect to hear a noun, a verb, adjective, adverb, and what does that word going to mean, or what is it going to mean, or what is it relevant to? Number one, do we need a noun?
Yes.
View the gallery through a huge what? Huge place, huge object, probably. These are some potential answers, some possible answers. What about number two?
Color and tradition.
Well done. Color and tradition, color and costume, color and, well done, beliefs, correct. So it could be a noun. Again, number three. Again, a noun. And what kind of noun? Does that noun begin with a vowel sound or no? Alright, my question is, number three. Do you expect the noun to start with a vowel sound like A, E, I, O, U? No. No, why? Because you have the word, the definite, no, indefinite article A. Next, number four. To look at the natural world, put on a camouflage suit and be. What is the meaning of camouflage?
Police trees.
Well done. Imagine that there is a war. There is a war, and I am going to carry a very big gun. But if I'm going to go there, I'm going to be killed. So I'm trying to wear a cover, something which is the same color as a tree. Why? Because I'm going to be invisible, and they cannot very easily identify my color and who I am. Why? Because I'm trying to wear something as the same as the nature. For example, in the mountains, in jungles, you see they are the great places for doing the same thing, like the camouflage. Alright. What do you expect for number four? A suitable something, adjective plus a noun. And number five, the adjective room, maybe, or the noun room, noun phrase, the bedroom, the dining room. And number six? Climate change. That's a beautiful collocation, but is it relevant to this part? Probably. Great. Climate change. Alright, okay, wonderful. Are you ready to listen, ladies, gentlemen? So please pay a great attention to what I'm going to play. I hope it's not going to. Ready? Steady?
You will hear someone talking about a colour exhibition.
Now, I'd like to welcome onto our show today, Dan Whitlock, who's going to tell us about a very vibrant exhibition.
Thanks, Melanie. Yes, in fact, it's an exhibition called Eye for Colour. It's packed with hands-on exhibits and interactive displays, and it explores the endless ways in which colour shapes our world. Now, there are 40 exhibits altogether that come under 6 main sections. Well, sadly, I haven't got time to tell you about them all today, so let me just give you a taste of what's on offer. So, to start off, there's a section simply entitled Seeing Colour, which is, well, as the title suggests, about how we do just that. And it's a good starting point, because basically, you look at the museum gallery through a giant eyeball that's standing on a circular foot. What you don't know is that this houses a 32-inch camera and screen, and the overall effect of these is quite amazing. Another section that's very interesting is called Colour in Culture. Here, there are a number of activities designed to illustrate the powerful links that exist between colour and certain aspects of our lifestyle. And this is done through a range of images and objects. You can visit the Colour Cafe that contains meals that really make you question how conditioned you are. How hungry do you feel if you're faced with a sausages, for example. This section also includes activities that give visitors some idea of what it's like to view the world with a visual disability, which is something that many people have to do. Then there's a colour in nature section, designed to illustrate the many amazing colours that we see everywhere around us, from rainbows to autumn leaves, and to give us an idea of what it's like surviving in the external environment. So, you can try camouflaging yourself. This really is one for the kids, dressing up in a suit and then selecting a background where, to all intents and purposes, you disappear. And you can look at the world through the eyes of a dog or fish. What do these creatures really see? I recommend ending the trip with a visit to the mood room, which explores the influence of colour on the way we feel. Here, you can lie back and listen to music as a projector subtly alters the lighting in the room, and with it, the atmosphere. How does each colour affect your emotions? You'll be surprised. Unit 2. Listening. Exercise 4. Now, while the exhibition has been running,
Alright. What are your responses? I'd like you guys to share and see what you think. Can you tell me the ones that you are fairly sure about? Which ones are you fairly sure about? The number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6?
5.
Oh, okay, number 4. Alright, so with number 4 you said? Number 4, background. Well done. Number 4, background. Great. I did write background as well. You, background number 4?
Yes.
Okay, what else?
Number 6.
Number 6.
Atmosphere.
The atmosphere or lighting. Both are going to be correct. I did write lighting. You can either go for lighting or the atmosphere. So both of them. Which one did you write?
Emotions.
Oh. Emotions change. I have noticed, but bear in mind, in this part, the question says, listen to music as the colors and something change, and it has an impact on your emotions. This is a noun which is relevant and connected to our feelings. So what is that? Color and lighting or the atmosphere. This is a tricky part, and they are doing it deliberately to draw your attention and to make you alright, to do this and make a mistake. So number 6, lighting or atmosphere. What else? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. What is 5? M-O-O-D. Mood room. Great. Well done. Mood room. What about number 1, 2, 3?
Number 2.
2.
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Great. Number 2 is lifestyle. Absolutely right. Great. 3.
Condition.
Visual.
Well done. Visual. Visual.
Like sign.
Disability. Visual disability means when you cannot see things very vividly. So the correct answer is visual disability or disability? Or visual?
It's for visual.
The correct answer is disability. Why? Because we are restricted to write down one word only. And number 1.
Eyeball.
How do you spell that?
Eyeball. It's E.
You mean this?
Bold. The bold is B-O-L-D.
No, it's not eyeball. It's eyeball.
Eyeball.
Yes, eyeball.
That's like eyeball.
Eyeball. So that is your correct answer. Eyeball. Great. I think that it's important, it's of a great significance to listen again. I want you to listen again from number 1 to 6 and try to analyze the text and the script and focus on some parts. Listen, please.
Exhibition.
Listen.
Now, I'd like to welcome onto our show today Dan Whitlock, who's going to tell us about a very vibrant exhibition.
What is the adjective for exhibition? Very vibrant. A very vibrant exhibition, it means it's very lovely. It's full of energy. So again, a vibrant exhibition. Like Hoan Kiem Lake is vibrant all the time, and specifically at the weekends. You see, it's a vibrant atmosphere. Lively, people are shouting, screaming, dancing.
Thanks, Melanie. Yes, in fact, it's an exhibition called Eye for Colour. It's packed with hands-on exhibits.
It's packed, well done.
And interactive displays. And it explores the endless ways in which colour shape.
What was the adjective?
It's called endless.
Great, endless. It means without limits, without ending. English is endless. It means you can every day learn something new about English language. Many vocabularies, many.
World.
Limitless.
Now, there are 40 exhibits altogether that come under 6 main sections. Sadly, I haven't got time to tell you about them all today, so let me just give you a taste of what's on offer. So, to start off, there's a section simply entitled Seeing Colour, which is, well, as the title suggests, about how we do just that. And it's a good starting point because, basically, you look at the museum gallery through a giant eyeball that's...
What is another equivalent word for huge? Well done. Here you have seen it has been written down huge, but you have heard something exactly the paraphrase. Equally valid with the word huge, and it was giant. Giant eyeball. Eyeball, alright.
Standing on a circular foot. What you don't know is that this houses a 32-inch camera and screen, and the overall effect of these is quite amazing. Another section that's very interesting is called Colour in Culture. Here, there are a number of activities designed to illustrate the powerful links that exist between colour and certain aspects of our lifestyle.
There is a powerful link, or it is connected to the way of living. Lifestyle, great. Certain aspects of our lifestyle and the color. So lifestyle as a word.
And this is done through a range of images and objects. You can visit the Colour Cafe that contains meals that really make you question how conditioned you are. How hungry do you feel if you're faced with a plate of pink and green fried eggs and blue sausages, for example?
Whatever he mentioned were also relevant to bullet point number 1. He was still talking about the cafe.
This section also includes activities.
This section also includes an activity
that give visitors some idea of what it's like to view the world with a visual disability.
It means you cannot see things very well when you're blind. How the world is going to have a very great impact on you when you cannot see what is happening in your surroundings. So the correct answer is disability. Yes, you have the word disability. As and now, disability.
Which is something that many people have to do. Then there's a Colour in Nature section, designed to illustrate the many amazing colours that we see everywhere around us, from rainbows to autumn leaves, and to give us an idea of what it's like surviving in the external environment. So, you can try camouflaging yourself. This really is one for the kids, dressing up in a suit and then selecting a background where, to all intents and purposes, you disappear. And you can look at the world through the eyes of a dog or fish. What do these creatures really see? And I'd recommend ending the trip with a visit to the mood room, which explores the influence of colour on the way we feel. Here, you can lie back and listen to music as a projector suddenly alters the lighting in the room. And with...
What is another word for change? That's an academic word which begins with A. That means change. What is that word? which has the same meaning with change. That's an academic word. It starts with. Thank you. It starts with A. What is that word? The second one is L. The last one is R. The third one is T. And the penultimate is E. Alter. So again, alter. Alter. So we have alternative, alteration, change. And the word alters was here because it is a very equivalent and close paraphrase where the word changed.
The atmosphere.
The atmosphere and lighting, they were both mentioned. Again,
Alters the lighting in the room, and with it, the atmosphere. How does each colour affect your emotions? You'll be surprised.
affect your emotions. Thank you immeasurably. Any questions, any comments, any problems so far? No. Nope. So, what do you think? How many correct answers did you have? How many correct answers out of 6? 1, 3, 4, 4 correct answers, and you? 4 and 4. Why do you think that you made such a mistake? Was it because of the delivery or the speed of delivery? Was it because of the paraphrases? Was it because of the spelling? Paraphrasing. So it means you didn't know some of the words. Alright, let's focus on the second half and second parts. Question number 7 to 10. You have got almost 30 seconds to find. No. 7. What is happening? Questions number 6 to 10. So this is something else. Alright, let's focus on this part. Yes. What type of question is this? What type of question is this? Is it multiple choice question? No. Is it matching? No. Is it classification? Is it table completion? No. Sentence completion? No, it is flowchart. What is the meaning of flowchart? It means when there are certain stages or certain phases in a process, in a procedure, in a story of something, and that is called flowchart. And how can you deal with these type of questions when you do face flowcharts? You do need to look at the all missing information and highlight some keywords which have been already highlighted here. And when you are looking at the very first and the very last box, you can get the general idea of what your flowchart is about. Can you take your time, find some keywords, but they have been already highlighted? And what is the title? How many words are you going to write? How many words? No more than 2 words. It means you need to put number 2. Don't forget, only 2. The example of patient route. It says arriving at clinic with an noun, verb? Noun. What kind of noun? Vowel sound. The one which begins with a vowel sound. An. Number 7. A physiotherapist evaluates or assesses or evaluates, it means to measure something to the ankle or to ankle. Evaluates something to ankles. Again, it's a noun. Number 8. Treatment is given and something is prepared. Again, and what kind of noun? Vowel sound. Number 9. Return trips are made to check joints. Joints like this part of my arm and hand, the orange. It is going to join this part to the arm, so that is called the joint. Or your knee is going to join the ankle to the thigh. That is called the joint part. And the last but not least, A. Something supervises creativity in the gene. A something or a somebody, no? We can say a someone. Again and now. Are you ready to listen?
Yes.
Example of, I'm finding it in a patient route. I'm finding it in a YouTube. Not here.
Not
Example of patient route. IELTS listening example of patient route. And what is the meaning of patient here?
Is a person
Was sick or was injured, who is going to pay the doctor a visit for recovery. Alright, so this is something very unpredictable. Let me Google it, whether I unlock you or not. IELTS listening exam of patient route. Don't turn me down, please. Don't turn me down, please. I'm afraid that we have to postpone it to the following session, following week. Or I can send you later on, because I don't have them off the moment. Yes, I am infinitely sorry, guys. We don't have it right now. No. No, I don't. But it's alright. We are almost at the very end of tonight's session, and I'd like to wrap up the session by asking you some questions and reflect upon what you learned today. For speaking section, we learned to paraphrase in a way that we can change the structure of the word and the language, but not the ideas. And the more complex, the more noun phrases can be found. You need to avoid vague language, something like that, and so on, and blah, 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 blah. And also you did practice some other aspects. Do you have any questions? Any problems?
no.
And what is important about lexical resource? What will the examiner look at? And accuracy, and how accurately, how properly you are trying to use. Don't forget, just don't forget, you can write it somewhere. For the following session, you can do some practice of listening tasks. And I'd like you guys to focus on page 25. I'm writing it and I'm handing it to you. Page 25, listening. Page 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay. I have to say the end of 31. What? Yes, what? Okay, Mr. What? This is Mr. Yours. And this is what? Okay, this is, we can say pages 25 to 31, listening. For the speaking, we are going to focus on more tasks and activities next week. And you will be asked. I hope that the others are going to join us, because today we are missing 3 of them. And 3 means a lot to me. And I hope that you have a wonderful time towards the end of tonight. And I hope that you and your next of kin will be safe and sound. And please stay at home. You don't have to commute every day towards your classes like me. So you can stay safe and can still enjoy your life. And have a wonderful time, guys. Let's call it a day. And Take care of it.